Exactly the person I was waiting for from Honolulu. We had to have Hawaii on the call. That's what we've been waiting for. Welcome to the call. Jim from British Columbia, welcome to the call. With that, let's get it started. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, those of you down under and in Asia. Welcome to the call, and good afternoon to those of you in Hawaii, which is a couple hours behind us here in California. This is Costa Guerra coming to you from San Diego, California. We've got a lineup of superstars on tonight's call. I'm going to introduce them one by one. We're going to get to know them a little bit on this call, get to know their story quickly, and as well why they actually picked iGalen as sort of a home for them, and as well how they've become successful in the short 5-6 months we've been in business. So, and as well, obviously, right after that, I'm going to be talking about Vegas, about the convention, the details of the convention, as well about some of the features of the back office we're going to be launching, the new tools, new features, new gadgets, new exciting stuff about iGalen back office. And then last but not least, we have a surprise guest, which I'll introduce towards the end of the call. And then if there's time left at the end of the call, we'll open it up for some Q&A. I'm sure you're all excited. With that, April, welcome to the call from New Brunswick. And let's get started. To very first announce another person that I want to introduce. This is someone I've known for a number of years. This gentleman actually is Canadian, been in the industry for quite a few decades. Not that he's old, but him and I actually feel like a dinosaur compared to some of the individuals that have been in the industry for a couple years. And we go back actually roughly 15, 16 years. He is one of the superstars in Canada. He's now his organization growing into US and as well in Philippines. And of course, he's got a team in Australia. Dory has built a massive team in his previous companies. He joined us just around the time we started this company. So with that said, I want to bring Dory. Dory, are you there, my friend?
I am. How are you, Costa? Can you hear me, Costa?
You are unmuted. We can't hear you. Can you hear us, Dory?
I can hear you, yeah. I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect, perfect. So with that, I want to come to you, sir. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining us on this call. I know your schedule is busy. You're running around from city to city, state to state. You're literally covering the entire North America, helping your organization, helping the team. But I want maybe everyone to hear a little bit about your background, because you have a very interesting, a diverse background of what you've done and what you've accomplished. So maybe a Reader's Digest, your experience, Dory, in the last couple of decades in this industry and what you've done, and how passionate are you about this industry, what it's done for you?
Perfect. Well, thank you, Costa. And yes, I do consider myself young at heart, but I am 57 years young at heart. I got started in the industry with my mom and her Amway business at the ripe old age of 12. So that gives me 45 years experience. This will be the 6th MLM that I've actually been a part of as a distributor. The previous 5, I was top 10 income earner and top 1 income earner with those companies. But I'm most known as an owner of network marketing companies or company. I owned one for very close to 17 years. And that was an enlightening experience because I really got to know and understand the industry. And the sad truth is that by the end of my tenure, I left the industry because my mom came to me one day and sadly informed me that she had cancer. And because of the blessings of the industry, I basically dropped away from the world for a 6-year period of time, because after my mom passed on, I took on the challenge along with my son of taking care of my dad, who had severe dementia. And when he passed last March, I wasn't sure that I ever wanted to get into the industry, Costa. And the reason is because of what I know as being an owner. The fact of the matter is that you and I and 4 other people could get together with $500,000 and put together just another one of those Me Too companies that has the same product, the same toothpaste that's oversold, that's overpriced and all that. And I got a call from a friend of mine, Brian MacArthur, who's on the phone or on the call, I'm sure tonight listening. And he told me he had found a holy grail product, a product that I could make a difference in the world, because he knew that that's what I really wanted. I didn't just want a Me Too product. And I didn't believe him at first. And boy, am I glad he's persistent, because that led me to iGalen. And the fact of the matter is, what makes me excited about iGalen is the fact that we have a product that was developed by 2-time Nobel Prize nominated scientific team. It's got 2 patents. It's got patent pendings coming out of the wazoo. It's published on PubMed. It's got studies. It's got efficacy. It's got proof. But more importantly, it just darn well works. We're seeing results and testimonials, the likes that no other company can talk about. Everyone else has a story, but the fact of the matter is that if I picked apart 7 companies, which I will never do on public forum, the fact is they're just all the same products rehashed with a different package. It's like perfuming a pig. And what iGalen has is something special. And then, of course, they have Dr. Ahrens on the team, Dr. Rajan, yourself, one of the best consultants in the industry. And in reality, we have something that's virtually unstoppable, because people that take this product get a result. But, you know, I've discovered something with iGalen that's really coming together. And I'm not going to let any secrets out of the bag, but here's my view. My view is that I'm seeing a gathering of scientific geniuses that would have never looked at an MLM opportunity. Why are they doing that? The word Nobel Prize comes to mind. Because when I had Dr. David Nelson look at this product, his question to me said, Dory, do you really understand what a Nobel Prize is? And I said, well, Dave, I sort of do. I've seen it on the news. And he said, Dory, no, you don't understand that if you're nominated for a Nobel Prize, you're rocketed to the top of the scientific peer group that you are part of. But you're not just rocketed to the top of the American group or the Canadian group or the New Zealand or the Swiss group. You're recognized globally, worldwide. That's if you're nominated once. But if you're nominated twice, you're in a different stratosphere. You have worldwide credibility. Combine Dr. Ahrens, his partner, and Dr. Rajan, now scientists that would never look at MLM, would never consider putting their products into an MLM vehicle, are coming forward. They're coming forward, and ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, I have inside information which I'm not going to share with you tonight, but if you are not in Las Vegas, it will be one of the biggest regrets of your life. What's being unveiled at the Las Vegas convention is so extraordinary, so life-changing, that it just brings me incredible joy. And I'll give you one small hint. One small hint. My dad was a war hero. First wave of Normandy, a man's man. Somebody that you would absolutely look up to, and all men would look at him because he was a true hero. He stood 6 feet tall. He had broad shoulders. But when we started taking care of him, my son and I, we saw a fracture of the man. We saw a man that's brain was eaten by dementia, that most of the time couldn't tell who I was, didn't know his grandson's name. And it was one of the saddest things that I've ever experienced in my life. He lived with us for just about 3 years. And when I found out that there was something coming down the pike from iGalen, from the genius of our scientific team that could actually address that, I knew that I had to be part of this journey. I knew that if I could influence someone to try this product and that helped prevent them from dealing with the suffering, the humiliation that a person goes through when they have dementia, that this would be worth everything in the world. And don't think for a moment that at 57 years of age, I look at where my dad deteriorated to and I think, I have to have that product. I don't want to be in diapers. I don't want to deteriorate. I want to remember those that are around me, those that I love's name. So I know that you on this call are at the right place, the right time, with the greatest team ever assembled. We're a baby company. The official launch happens in Las Vegas, and you can be part of it. This worldwide global expansion to save millions of people from suffering. It's far more value than money. It's far more value than some stupid company selling a knockoff toothpaste. It's integrity. It's reality. And will we have challenges? Of course we will. But we'll overcome those challenges. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to say to your grandchildren, I was in iGalen from the beginning, and iGalen will be known globally as the company that made a difference. So Costa, that's why I'm part of iGalen.
Thank you so much. And I so agree with you, my friend. You know, not once, but twice nominated for Nobel Prize. I mean, this company has lined up the stars to become potentially the next star in this industry. I'm gonna, before I go to the next speaker, I'm gonna put you on the spot, my friend, and just come back to you for 2 minutes. If somebody joining iGalen, they just joined in the last week or 2 or 3, what advice do you have for them to do to get their business off the ground based on your decades of experience? What do you recommend to them to do so they can start experiencing the success you've had over the last years?
Well, it's really simple for me, Costa. Everybody that joins iGalen is actually opening their own home-based business. It's just like a store. The only difference is you're not constrained with bricks and mortar and a street address. Your opportunity is in Canada, the United States, the Philippines, Malaysia, soon to be Hong Kong, Australia, New Zealand. You have inventory. If you came in as a platinum, you have 20 bottles. It makes sense to come in as a platinum. And so your mission in your first week is to get those 19 bottles out and working for you. If you're in this business and you've been in more than a month and you still have bottles sitting on their shelf, what for? Why? They're not working for you. So get those bottles out. That starts a phone call. Those bottles represent an investment into your business, and those bottles will go to work for you because, frankly, cost of the product just works. It works so often that it's a sure bet getting those bottles out into people's hands. And of course, you don't have to give them away. You can also sell them because it's such a valuable product. Don't demean the value of what Emulin can do. And there's 100 stories, and we all know, and we've all seen them. This product is about getting the product into people's hands and having them experience Emulin firsthand, and getting on the phone and following up and having a conversation. Because once you have that person with an experience, you can easily say to them, geez, that was easy to take, and the results were fantastic. Wouldn't you agree? And when they say, wouldn't you agree, you can say, well, wouldn't it be nice to be able to share this product with others, see the same health results that they're enjoying, and earn extra money in the process. That would be great, wouldn't it? And when they say yes, you turn to the next question, which is, could you use an extra $200 to $500 a month? And when they say yes, you simply say, well, this business is easy as sharing. Just like the last great movie you went to and you told others about it, that's all you have to do to make your iGalen business work. That's fantastic, isn't it? And that's it, Costa.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dory. And you're very true. It's what you mentioned, basically become a product of a product, use it, share it, and tell everyone around you about how fantastic these products are. Dory, thank you again for joining us on the call and sharing your amazing story. I'm going to move up to Jana. Jana is become a dear friend of mine. She's officially the very first triple diamond in the company. As you all know, we have different rankings starting at Ruby all the way, and she hit the triple diamond within the first 30 days or 45 days, if I'm not mistaken. She's been in the industry for a decade, very experienced, understands the model, and has quota experience with the industry, but more important, has got tons of people that have got incredible testimony from the product. She's building the business full-time, traveling, and building her business currently, although she is in Canada, already expanded to all over US, including Hawaii. I know Hawaii is part of US, but we often like to mention Hawaii because it's such a cool place, and all the way down to Australia, and now, of course, in Philippines. So without further ado, Jana, take it away, my dear. Share with everyone how long you've been in the business, what is done for you, and why you chose iGalen to be part of this amazing venture and opportunity.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Costa. That was a very kind introduction. And Dory, that was incredible. As always, I love working with Dory. We just make a fabulous team with all of our great leaders, and we have so many. I wasn't looking for anything when this came upon me. I was kind of kidnapped and taken to San Diego, and to my delight and good fortune, I met Costa and Dr. Rajan, and it only took one meeting for lunch and talking about his story, Dr. Rajan's story, and what he really wanted to do. And for the very first time in about 30 years, I realized that I found someone with really incredible integrity. In other words, he really didn't have a vision of money and a network marketing company. What he really had a vision on, a mission of, was to help millions of people prolong their healthier life. And when he said that, I knew he didn't mean thousands. I knew, and I could see millions of people with happy faces and feeling better. But I didn't understand it much. I really honestly didn't know anything about the product. I'd never seen it. I'd never taken any. And I left that meeting with such a glow in my heart and walked away. And I was with a previous network marketing company that was going a little sideways. So I was bewildered, and I was not looking, but I knew right away it was a sign. I was here for a reason. And it was instant for me. I knew that I had a handful of really great friends that I had worked with over the years, and I wanted to take them to a really great place of just not business, but greater learning, understanding, and I knew the personal growth that we were going to experience in iGalen was going to be far greater than anything we'd ever seen because of the leadership here, because of Costa and how he cares about people, Dr. Rajan, how he cares about people, and the whole vision of the company just was so clear to me and transparent. And I came home to Vancouver, and I had just moved to Vancouver Island, and my product arrived, the first bottles from Malaysia, and I started taking them and I started sharing them with family and friends and acquaintances. And for the very first time ever, I hardly got words out of my mouth, and people were saying, well, I need that. And I said, but I haven't really told you very much right now. And they're saying, I don't care. I have to try this. And they tried it. And then I was experiencing a good feeling myself. My energy increased. I slept better. I started to feel just really good and calm and balanced. And then something happened to me that was even, I couldn't even imagine that it would happen. But for 50 years, I had a really sluggish metabolism and a digestive kind of problem. It wasn't IBS or Crohn's or colitis, nothing that was diagnosed. And they never could figure out what it was, but it was always just bothersome. It disappeared in 3 weeks. And I just thought, I've been dealing with this since I was 10 years old, and it's gone. And then people started calling me with stories way more elaborate than that about their health, about their, really serious pain from fibromyalgia and lupus and MS and diabetes, and their blood sugars dropping and normalizing, and blood pressure dropping and going off meds. And it was helping their health so much. And they were like, I can't believe this. And I'm like, are you sure? Because it was really, as Dory said, we're used to products that are just glorified with marketing. We've never seen something like this that actually makes people so much better in their life that they are willing to just, I need this forever. I'm taking this forever. I don't care if you do this, Jana, but I want this product. And I said, okay. And how do I get it? And I'm like, well, I don't know yet, because we're launching at the end of January, and I'll get it as soon as I can for you. But it was just a different vibe. It was a feeling of camaraderie and happiness and health, and the handful of people that I started putting in the business started growing their businesses instantly. They were exploding, and the paper was getting bigger and bigger. All we were doing was drawing circles on paper, and it was so magical and so much fun. And I knew that I had a home, and I knew that there was going to be a lot of work. And I've had my own businesses in the past. I've been an entrepreneur most of my life, and I've manufactured clothing. I've had a design company. I just, and I've always done network marketing on the side. Some successful companies, some dismal failures that even, filed Chapter 11. And because we're so well funded and well organized and so much great leadership, I knew that all I had to do was put this in front of people. Person after person after person. So I started helping my team, and we came out of the gate, and as my husband said to me, your horse won. And I said, what do you mean? And this was when the Kentucky Derby ran. And I think that was in April, if I'm not mistaken, or March maybe. But it was so exciting because the horse was called Always Dreamin'.
Wow. Wow, thank you. Thank you for that. I'm going to put you also on the spot, Jana. As you know, 75% of the distributors in this industry are women, and a lot of them are moms that obviously have a lot of responsibilities, being a wife, being a mother, having a job. What is your advice for those that wanted to build this, especially with iGalen? What do you suggest, advise them, and encapsulate it for me in 2 minutes? For them to build this just like you have, to reach the success you have, what advice you have for them to help them get the business off the ground?
That's a great question, Costa. And it's simple. This is the first time that I've ever been able to just keep a bottle of Emulan in my purse. I have it in the car. I have it in my travel bag. I have it in the trunk. I have it everywhere, and it sits on my counter. And all I do is share my story and the testimonies of the people that have just touched my heart with their stories. It is so easy to talk about this. It's so simple. When someone asks me what I do, I just say, You know, I'm helping individuals all over the world prolong their healthier life with an extraordinary product, you know, backed with Nobel Prize nomination scientists. And I've just never seen anything like this. And they go, what is it? I have to have it. It's just about being transparent, authentic, and genuine in your delivery, and have fun doing it. Because I love that when I see a smile on someone's face when they see what you're doing, because they really know it's true. And that's all I've done with this. And it's been the easiest thing ever. Maybe not easy in terms of the work you're going to have to do in the follow-up, but easy because we have something so genuine to work with.
Thank you so much, my dear. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, you understand now why Jana became triple diamond. It's in her passion, it's in her blood. She loves the product, and she's like what we call a mobile advertiser. She's the CEO of her organization, and she's building an empire that stretches across continents on this planet. So Jana, once again, thank you so much for joining us on the call.
Thank you, Costa.
I'm going to move on up into still in Canada. A very dear friend of mine. We've known each other for about almost 8 years, 9 years, since 2009. She's one of the master distributors in Canada. And she actually started with a company just about a year ago, and maybe perhaps a bit longer. She's been an influence in a number of organizations that have joined. She's worked directly with Dr. Rajan, Dr. Ahrens, and she's, you know, what I love about her story, she is Asian. She's got the drive, she has the motive, and she's a mom that wants to build something that can pass on to her kids. So with that, my dear friend, Rena, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Take it away, hon.
Awesome. Thank you, Costa. Thank you so much for the introduction and for allowing me to share my story. And thank you, Dory and Jana, for sharing your stories. We're so grateful to have you both, you and your team in the company. So welcome, everyone, and thank you for taking time to join us. One of my best friends just passed away, so it adds to my story and why iGalen is so personal for me and why it's home for me, and you'll know why I am the way I am after this. So most of you only know me through social media, so I want to get really personal with you. I feel like I grow every time I share my story, and for those of you listening to this call, I hope that this sparks motivation in you to take your life to another level, and that you realize that this is one of the rarest opportunities we have at the most perfect time. My story is quite long, so I'll give you guys a Coles notes. I was born and raised in Canada, Calgary, Alberta, as an only child by my single mother. And in my childhood days, I remember how hard my mom worked just to put a roof over our heads and to pay for daycare. You know, I was always the first one in daycare and the last one to leave. So my mother was the epitome of hard work. And that is for sure where I get my drive from. But I saw how run down she was. I saw that there was no progress for us. And even as a little girl, you know, I wasn't playing with dolls or tea sets. I was playing with a fake briefcase, and, you know, I had sunglasses where I popped out the lenses so that I could look more sophisticated when I went to my pretend work as a boss. And that was me at 6 years young. I also remember being in and out of foster care because of my mom's health, which put her into hospital time after time. And then I remember my mom being laid off as her telecom company had shut their doors, and how upset she was. And that was actually my first time realizing that there is no job security, and we struggled. And it was from that point on that I vowed I would never be in the situation that my mom was in. So I put myself through school, and I went to work in corporate like I dreamed of as a little girl. And I was heavy into oil and gas, and we were spoiled in Alberta. And then the 2008 recession hit. And in my life, I've been so blessed with so many amazing opportunities. And I thank God that I've always been open to them and up for new challenges, making me really diverse in my background, that my skills were basically recession proof. So, you know, although my background was oil and gas, I never let it define me, and I skilled up in so many other industries, and I can for sure say that I can do anything, and so can all of you. So shortly after that, my mother fell ill with nasopharyngeal cancer. So that's cancer right in her face, right by her brain. And that really began my journey into investments and insurance, because a couple years before that, She actually turned down life insurance and critical illness because, like so many people think, it can't happen to me. So thank God she survived, but she wasn't able to work, and then her finances fell upon me as the only child, and I really started thinking about my financial future, and I began my career in educating people on that. And by that time, my son was about 19. So we'll fast forward 8 years later after her cancer. So this brings us to last June. Because my mother had turned into basically skin and bones from the harsh radiation, she had lost all of her taste buds. And the only way she could feel full was to eat refined carbs. So her immune system had become so weak that she fell ill with pneumonia and was hospitalized. And I was literally planning her funeral last year, and I was devastated. I put on social media asking for prayers for my mother, and my prayer was answered when my dear friend Costa had connected me to Dr. Rajan. And as most of us know, he's got one of the greatest, biggest heart. And long story short, I mean, you guys have heard some testimonials and how great the product is, but Emulin Plus literally saved my mother. And I saw her come back to life, and I saw her have more energy, and I saw her be happy, because basically when you talk to my mom and ask her how she was, she'd always say, "Oh, I'm okay." It was always okay. We live in an okay world. We use the F word. Hi, I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. I'm not fine. I want to be amazing. So, then I actually got on the product myself, and I fell in love with it, and it saved my life, I think. And basically this international company opened up in Canada first. That is very, very rare. There's, why would an international company open up in Canada first? So I was so honored to be granted the opportunity to bring this phenomenal product and company into Canada. And I knew that this was a job bigger than just myself. So I formed a Canadian leadership team to take this to fruition. And it's just been an incredible journey to work with people who have a genuine interest in helping people in all aspects of their lives. And, the timing is right now. Inflammation is high in our world today, and we are on the go, and our diets are of convenience. And I just love this product and what it does for people. I mean, I never imagined that one tiny vegan cap could create all of the incredible, the testimonials of thousands of them that are out there. And never in my life could I imagine working with my friends and helping people get their lives back. Like, I'm nearly in tears every day when I hear the health progress people are having. So this is a company that is built to last for generations to come. Please understand that the chances of you being born is 1 out of 400 trillion. And there's no coincidence that you're listening to this call right now. And take this call as a call to action for your health, for your family, your financial future. Don't wait like my mom did to get sick and then make time for health. Make time for health now so that you don't have to make time for illness. Take control of your financial future and tap into the abundance of tools and opportunities that are on your horizon. Even if you have a job right now, take it upon yourself to secure your finances. Have multiple streams of income. Enjoy the tax perks of owning a home-based business. Do you like to travel? Do you like to eat, entertain? Build a life that you and your family deserve by working smarter, not harder. And I want to thank Dr. Rajan, Dr. Aarons, Mr. Channing Fai. They've just made this dream possible for everybody. And of course, many thanks to Costa and his expertise, a man who walks his talk and has been a success over and over in all that he does for his team and his team creating a system that works. And I am just forever grateful that he introduced me to iGalen. And I'll close off with this. My philosophy as an entrepreneur is that you are your own educator, because it's all about personal development. There's no corporation that can ever teach that to you. Entrepreneurship is really just a state of mind. It's a daring against convention of security, against constancy of life, against rainbows and smiling faces. It's a curious state of mind that wants to find out, hey, what would happen if I did this? Despite probably many people telling you that you will fail. And in this industry, you get that, right? And risk is definitely an inborn characteristic of people like us. Entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is like an aspiration to be successful, to make a mark, to leave an indelible imprint and change the world. It's a sense of freedom, freedom of creativity and massive visions beyond the corporate walls. Elon Musk is a prime example of breaking out of his radar screen and literally out of this world. So I hope this sparks something in you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share, and I hope you guys have a great night and welcome to the family.
Thank you, Rena. Don't go anywhere, my dear. I have one last question for you. Of all the years that you've attended conventions with previous companies in other industries, tell me, why do you recommend, for those that are listening on this call, why do you recommend them or you suggest them to come to Vegas based on what you've seen from the Canadian lunch with Dr. Rajan and the leadership? Why do you recommend people listening on this call to be in Vegas?
Definitely. Thank you. That is, convention is an investment into yourself. When you come to convention, you are surrounded by thought leaders, by like-minded people, sharing of ideas. And because we're a company that's about people helping people, convention is the way to go to have everything in your soul sparked and to connect with the leaders and meet Mr. Channing Fai is going to be there, the doctors, everybody, Costa, your friends, people that you would have connected with online through social media, to meet them in person and to connect and have that personal relationship in person with people is so important, and the education that's there as well. And it's fun, you know, and I love convention because you don't really get that in corporate. I mean, I've never been in a company where, you know, they're like, hey, everybody, let's go have a convention and have fun and learn, because that's what this is about, right? So definitely convention is an investment into your own personal development, because when you develop personally, your business is going to grow. And so are the rest of the pillars in your lives, your friendships, your family relationships, relationships with children. You don't get this anywhere else. So I can't wait to meet everybody in one of my most favorite cities besides San Diego, Las Vegas.
Thank you so much, my dear. Speaking of Las Vegas, before I bring the next speaker, just a quick sort of a recap. As you all know, it's coming up, convention in Las Vegas, and the end of October, October 26th to 29th. It's a 3 days event, jam-packed with unbelievable superstars line up on the stage. We're going to have a number of doctors, including Dr. Aaron, of course, our CEO, Dr. Rajan, and a couple surprising guests. We're also going to have a couple of the vendors up there. They're going to be discussing and sharing some of the technology and new features they're going to introduce. But more important, you're going to get a chance to hear firsthand how these superstars, you heard from some of them tonight on this call, have gone from zero to that hero story in this profession. And I call it a profession because I've been doing this for 24 years. It's not an industry. A car is an industry, automobile is an industry, cosmetic is an industry. This is a profession. And I consider myself the same level as a doctor, as an engineer, an attorney, an accountant that go to school. I have gone to school. I've done my 10,000 hours, paid a price to get a degree in this entrepreneurship world that has allowed me to be successful. That's what this profession is about, and that's what you'll learn when you come to convention. With that said, I'm going to take the call all the way across the ocean, all the way to Philippines. A very good friend of mine that I've known actually from roughly about 2004, almost 13 years. When I met him originally, ladies and gentlemen, this guy was in his early 20s. And what's interesting, him and I were originally in another company back in the 90s, and I was in that company for 5 years, and I was only able, after 5 years, to reach a level which was second, sort of a rank in that company called executive director. And Dan had surpassed me in shorter time, in actually less than 2 years. And he went from executive director to national marketing director to international marketing director to, as a matter of fact, to the highest rank, which was global marketing director. And ladies and gentlemen, so you understand, those of you that are in binary, back then in the 90s when we were building, it was no binary, it was breakaway unilevel, then had to build 18 legs front line and qualify $1 million in volume to get to the GMD level. And he did that, including his brother, under the age of 25. And obviously, we're very lucky to have him on board here in iGalen. He's a master distributor for Philippines. He's done an amazing job building. His team has got one of the best spirit, very positive, always fun. A lot of tons of singers. They're just a fun group. This is, I believe, my third or fourth trip in the last 12 months heading to Philippines to work with a number of teams, including Dory and Jana's group, and a number of other groups that are going to be in Philippines. So with that, Dan, I'll turn it over to you. Take it away, sir.
Thank you so much, Costa, for that introduction and for letting me share my story as well. Well, I started very young in the profession, and that I was 20 years old when I started my first journey with my first company, and I've been in the profession for 15 years, and I built big organizations in two companies. One was the one Costa was telling a story about. We were with the same company, and I became a global marketing director in that. And in the second company, I was with another company that within 3 years, I was able to reach the top level as well here in the Philippines. And during that time, we were only 13 in the Philippines. And it's really a very humbling experience for me to have done that. And Costa has been my upline and my mentor from my previous company also. And through the years, network marketing has given me hope and the chance to touch so many lives. So a story about how I got into iGalen. One day, it was a Sunday, I was having lunch, and a friend of mine called me, and his name is Costa. So anyone who knows Costa, and that call actually changed my life and a lot of lives in the Philippines. And to make the long story short, I was I was connected to Dr. Rajen. I met Dr. Rajen in Malaysia, and the science behind it, as you guys heard it from the other speakers, it blew my mind. And together with a compensation plan that will change a lot of people's lives financially, we brought the product here. We gave the product to our family and our friends. The product speaks for itself, and we had really amazing results. And so anyway, throughout the years, I developed the passion of helping a lot of people change their lives, and health-wise and financially. And here in iGalen, actually, it is a perfect avenue to build or to do that, to help a lot of people health-wise and financially, and also to build a legacy. So that's the reason why I chose iGalen. And it's this kind of opportunity doesn't come in your life very often. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Dan, thank you so much for that. I have a question for you. I mean, compared to obviously to Dory and I, you're a young puppy compared to us. So I know you started in your early 20s. Tell us and share with us on this call, those individuals that are listening to this call that are in their 20s, what advice do you have for them? The secret, sort of the secret sauce, how you reach the top of two companies, sort of a level and the ranks at such a young age before you turn 30. And maybe you can share a secret with them, what you did. You can help them to follow you.
Yes, sure. Actually, that's I got 3 points that I want to share to you guys. And the first point is, the first person you lead is you. So now, no matter how gifted you are, you will never reach your maximum potential without the application of self-discipline. So if you know that you have talent, if you've seen a lot of motion, but little concrete results, maybe you lack self-discipline. And so if you have several reasons why you can't be self-disciplined, we have to realize that they're just excuses, actually. So that's the first point. And the second one is, in network marketing, it's always about building relationships. So if you have a group, a new team, you have to treat them as your partners. And the third one, you only rise by lifting others. So you have to help people rank up or earn, and your success automatically follows. And after that, you have to help them maintain their success as well. So that's my 3 points, and I'm sure in my past 15 years now in the industry, that's what I keep on doing. It's concentrate on building people's lives and changing their lives, and eventually your success will follow.
And it's amazing, Dan, how we've known each other for 13 years. We've become a friend through this profession. And that's what I
Yes.
love about this profession. It's not just you build a business, you make money, but also you make friendship that lasts for decades. So once again, Dan, thank you so much for joining us on this call all the way from Philippines. I'm excited to see you in the next 4 weeks. With that, thank you so much, Dan. And now I want to share with everyone, before I bring our special guest on the call, something about a lot of people have been asking me about sort of what we're going to be launching with respect to new tools and the features of iGalen back office. Although I can't share all the details, obviously we want to keep those surprises for you in Las Vegas. But I'll tell you sort of a 30,000-foot perspective and sort of an overview of what we're going to introduce. So you've got to be there, because for those people that are there, obviously you get a chance to see it firsthand. And there's one special tool that we're launching, that for those individuals that are going to be at the event, going to receive this product, this tool, for the entire first year for free. So anyone that, one more time, I'll repeat this, anyone that's going to be in Vegas, this new tool was going to be launched. The value of the tool right now is $297. You will receive that tool, that sort of platform, access to the platform to utilize for an entire year, completely comped, free. What is it? It's the world's first social media platform, allowing you to recruit 24/7 on social media, obviously, in particularly Facebook. I'll leave it there. I'm not going to go into more details. You want to find out more, you got to be in Vegas. But also, we're launching a number of other tools. Obviously, we're going to enhance and improve and launch the full-fledged profile page for those of you that are focused on promoting the product online and retailing online. This is going to come very handy. As well, obviously, we're going to have a new auto ship program in place for consumers. And then we have something called 341. I'm not going to tell you more about it, but this is something very exciting. We've been working on this for a number of months now. It's going to be launched in Vegas, called the 341. It's super exciting. I know the leaders know about it, and they've been sort of squeezing me to tell everyone, but unfortunately I can't share. You want to know about it, you got to come to, obviously, Las Vegas. And last but not least, we're going to have also more enhanced sort of a UI interface, a progress bar that tells you what rank you are, how to go to the next rank, and what you have to do to improve your ranks to hit the next one. Just like Jana hit the triple diamond and Dory hit the diamond, this tool will improve that, give you the opportunity to quickly have your finger on the pulse to know exactly where you are and what you have to do. I can continue with a lot more features and the tools we're launching, but I'll leave it there because we have about 9 minutes left. And I wanted to bring our special guest, our surprise guest on the call. And as you all probably heard by now, this gentleman is the co-creator and the co-founder of this company. Him and I have been traveling around the world. As a matter of fact, him and I are going to again travel over the next 4 weeks all over Asia, from Singapore to Hong Kong, all the way to Malaysia and Philippines as well. He's coming to San Diego in the next 2 weeks. So without further ado, the CEO, the co-founder, Dr. Rajan, take it away, sir.
Hi, Costa. Thank you for the opportunity. Good morning to all of you in Asia, and good evening to everybody in North America. It's really a pleasure for me to have sat through these sessions, to listen to Dory and Jana and Rina and Dan. I mean, speak, from their hearts with a lot of authenticity. I thank them because, they were very, very kind in their words in describing me. But really, I think they were talking about the company, the vision that we all have. As I keep saying, iGalen is about people helping people. It's not about any one individual. The company is bigger than all of us. I always say, if Apple can grow after Steve Jobs goes, then Galen can do the same. Our job now is to put the structures in place that we are all growing together, helping each other, and working together to build a great company for the future. In the last 48 or 60 hours, I've had amazing experience. I was invited by the Chinese FDA, who wanted to do clinical trials for Imulin. They had reviewed the papers that we had proposed to them, where we compared Imulin to metformin. Metformin, as you know, is the #1 most prescribed anti-diabetic drug in the world. And in the clinical trial that many of you have seen, Imulin does slightly better than metformin, which is amazing because Imulin is not a drug. It's got no side effects. A pregnant mother or a little child can take it. But what's more even amazing is when you combine Imulin with metformin, then you get up to 33% better results. And the Chinese were very intrigued by this. They've invited me, and I was there with the members of a government-linked company, but also the Chinese FDA. They're proposing a joint venture of some sort. So there's a lot of things going on. And on my way back, I got hit by the Chinese weather, and I had my flight delayed by 10 hours. And again, because in China, of course, you're not allowed to use Gmail, so all my mails are stuck. So I owe a lot of you out there mails. I think I owe Jana 2 mails, Dory 1 mail, and then I got back and had the pleasure of last night going to the airport to pick up Dr. Stefano Scoglio. He, as many of you know, is the man behind our AFA extract, the stem cell releaser. And he's going to be in Vegas. And he's here in Malaysia to have discussions with us, but also do a soft launch in Malaysia tomorrow. As you all know, we are going to be launching in Australia and New Zealand a week after next, Singapore week after next, and Hong Kong on the month of the convention. In fact, as Costa mentioned, he's already here with me in the region, meeting key people in Hong Kong, but also people in Philippines to put this in process. Many of you know about the issues we've had with GC7X. I'm very pleased to report that a court in Nevada has decided that the company Panacea Scientific was wrong, and Dr. Joe Aarons and HA Metabolics have got back all the rights, and therefore we have the global rights to Imulin Plus, as well as GC7X, right? So those of you who are concerned, when I met you in Vancouver and on several conference calls, I assured you that we were taking this very seriously and that we will win, and indeed we have. I think the the organization, continues to grow month on month. We are growing. I'm seeing amazing growth now in the Philippines in the last 2 months. I think we've got a big meeting coming up in San Diego in about 10 days from today, where I understand from Costa, all of you, Dori, Jana, Rina, have put up some like 20 or 30 people who are coming in, and I think that will be probably a major point of inflection for the company going forward. Of course, as all of you have said today, I look forward to meeting all of you in Las Vegas. You're going to have a chance to meet my partner, Channing Fine, this Hong Kong billionaire who is totally and fully committed to the idea of network marketing. At the age of 74 now, this year in December, he's 74. He says this is his one last business model he has never really looked at. And he's been supporting this completely from the days when we were in pre-launch in Malaysia. So he's blocked his time. He's blocked his wife's time, and so they all will be in Vegas. And I think you have an amazing chance and opportunity to also meet up and hear from him about his own philosophies about wealth, and accumulation of wealth and growing of wealth. Again, when Costa and I are here, we will be seeing him in Hong Kong. For those of you who want to Google, his address is number 4 Victoria Peak, which is the most expensive street on the planet. The second most expensive street is Kensington Palace, which is where the Queen of England lives. So, amazing guy, and it'll be a rare opportunity to actually have a one-on-one meeting with him. So I think, the company is in the right. We've got obviously a few kings, as I think Dory mentioned. There'll always be challenges, and that's why we need management, we need leadership to navigate through those challenges. But I feel very confident that we will indeed be hitting this key milestones. As some of you know and may have heard, right now I own half the company personally, but by the end of this month, I'm going to inject that into my public company in Australia. So all of you out there, you can be assured of your future, because iGalen is owned by 2 public companies, one in Singapore, that of Channing Fai, and one in Australia, that of Holista. And what it means to you is that we'll be around to make sure that you can pass this wealth to your grandchildren. You can pass this business and this opportunity to not just your children, but your grandchildren. And many of you know, Costa and I have a 30-year consulting contract. So we think long-term. We don't think about the next 18 months or 2 years, how quickly we can make some money and how fast we can get out. We are here for the long haul. And clearly all the people who spoke today are very, very much aligned with the vision of Channing Fai and I. Costa, let me pass this back to you, Costa.
Thank you so much, Doc. I know we're just reaching the top of the hour. One last announcement I want to make. We sent out an email just a couple of days ago regarding the convention tickets. I want to make sure this is clear for everyone. Any distributor that has recently joined since basically in the last 5-6 weeks, and moving forward all the way to convention, any new distributors coming on board, they will always be entitled to the original pricing of $3.99, which, by the way, includes the 2 lunches and the 2 breakfasts, I believe. So it's very important you understand that new distributor, the system automatically recognizes as an intelligent system. When a new distributor goes in to buy their convention ticket, it will present to them the original pricing, the lower ticket. As you know, the tickets are going up. They're now at $4.99 for everyone else. So the next price increase is going to come in September 1st at $5.49, and then at the end of September, we'll go to $5.99. Again, a new distributor will always go to get those tickets for $3.99, but those of you that are thinking about it and sitting on the fence, this is opportunity you do not want to miss. A Las Vegas convention, it's a limited seating. and obviously it's starting to fill up quickly. Limited seating because we're taking over the hotel. It's a small boutique style hotel right on the lake in Las Vegas. A very unique place. It's like a paradise. It's a resort, beautiful place. And obviously, you want to make sure you're there. You get your tickets. I know Dan is bringing quite a bit of group from Philippines. Dr. Rajan and the team is bringing 20, 30 people from Singapore, Malaysia, a whole Australia team down under are coming up, and obviously North America and everyone else. So tickets will sell out quickly. Once again, and all the new distributors will get the ticket at the initial pricing, everyone else at the current pricing before it gets that next price hike coming at the end of August. With that said, thank you so much to all the speakers. Dory, Jana, Rena, and Dan, thank you so much. Dr. Rajan, thank you for joining us all the way from Malaysia. I know you're busy and you've got guests in-house. Thank you so much for that. Everyone else, thank you for joining us, and look forward to see you all either in San Diego or in one of our trips in Asia. Have a fantastic evening. Have a terrific day, everyone. Take care, guys.